Hi, y'all. Orville Cummings here, and you're listening to the Sci-Fi Sistas.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Sisters podcast, where we give you our point of view. I'm your host, Tamia Harper. I'm joined today by all my sisters, Yvette Blackman-Tom,
Hello.
Sabrina Wood,
Whoop whoop.
and Fran T.
What's that?
What's happening, Fran? As always, what you guys know, we have a fantastic show.
Yay.
That's right. We know we got to bring you something. Today, we're bringing you a brother that we love to pieces. His smile lights up a room. We've loved him since we first saw him on Star Trek Discovery as Lieutenant Christopher. And we see him in a lot of other things. And like Murdoch Mysteries, I knew his face. So, because that's my jam. That's one of my quiet jams. I love Murdoch Mysteries. But anyway, I bring you none other than Orville Cummings. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Yay! Sorry, I just wanted to jump in on the
I know, right? You got to have a thing, right?
He wanted
little
the
pop
thing.
sign.
He wanted something. I love it.
Now that's going to be your thing now. Every time you come back to the show, you got to remember that.
Yay!
There you go.
I'll
He's
remember.
good. He'll remember.
I'll
I love
remember
it.
that one.
Welcome. We've wanted to have you on for so long, and it just feels like you are one of the family because I tell you, like when we say, y'all, that this brother gave us so much love at Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? Am I right, y'all?
Yeah. Oh,
You're
yeah.
totally
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
hanging with us, hanging with the
That's right.
sisters.
That's right. That's
Every
it.
day,
That's it.
running over to give his aunties some love and some
That's
hugs
right.
and some kisses
I
and a
love
big
it.
smile. And we were all like eating it up. Like,
That's right. Another nephew.
And when it started at Trek Long Island, it started
Yes.
at Trek Long
That's
Island.
right.
That was it, right?
Him and his triple.
That's right. That's right. The
Yes.
dribble.
You still have that Tribble?
I do have that trouble, I keep it. It's my room, so on my desk. And then I look over, I'm like, all right, buddy, you ready to get it? Hop on the flight. Hit the convention.
Have you named it?
Does the Tribble travel with you?
The triple does travel with me. It actually
It was
fits
in Long Island.
bag. Yeah, it just fits in like my side bag. Bam. And yeah, the name of the triple, I just gave it the name Milo. I had a pet cat named Milo, and I loved it dearly. It's not dead. It's just not with me anymore.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I was cat sitting it for a couple of months, and I, kind of fell in love with it.
Oh, don't you hate
The owner's
that?
just like, I'm back, and I'm like, he can stay a little longer if you want. I said, nope, we're going to Qatar. Qatar? Why are you in a Qatar?
Qatar. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Qatar,
Wow.
on the other
Wow.
side of the world.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
good. Milo, because a lot of us have triples and we have
We
names
all have
for.
don't we all have
Mhm.
tribbles?
I don't have a triple per se. There are triples in the house, but I don't have.
Yeah, careful.
I don't own. They're not mine.
There were other people living in your house. Okay,
Right.
all right. I got it. I was
Also-
like, wait, what?
Also, just a side note, not just because of the cat is why I settled on the name Milo. It's actually because I grew up in Jamaica, and every morning my mom would make me a cup of Milo, kind of like cocoa powder, kind of like that we drink in the islands.
Mhm.
And it has a special place in my heart because sometimes I won't even finish my breakfast, but I'm gonna finish the Milo though. I'm gonna finish that.
I hear that.
So it always
That's
has a special
awesome.
place in my heart. Every time I hear that word Milo, that name or anywhere, it triggers that for me. So
Aw.
that goes into play.
Oh, that's so
Okay.
cool.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Do you get back to Jamaica a lot or no?
The last time I went was 2018,
Ooh.
pre-pandemic. I
Mhm.
haven't been since, but I do intend on going back. I've always gone back with my family, like my dad, my mom, but I kind of want to do a solo trip myself or with my partner, just so I can take in the island on my terms because
Yeah.
it's up to someone else's schedule, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes,
gotcha.
yes,
I
yes.
want to go and do my thing, you know. My family, you
Mhm.
know, they want to go to the market, they want to do this and that. You know, maybe I want to go to Dunn's River Falls.
Maybe you
Mhm.
do.
Oh,
Exactly. You know, maybe I want to go and take a trip up to the Blue Mountain, you know, and just
Yeah.
drive
get some
Nice.
around.
coffee. Get some coffee.
Exactly, get some good coffee. So
Mhm.
yeah, I
So
just want
where in
that.
Jamaica are you from?
I'm
From
from Clarendon, which is like the south side of Jamaica. Uh,
okay.
so Jamaica is shaped like this with a little.
Yep.
It's
Mhm.
not a visual podcast, but it's a little island there.
But we can see it. We can see it.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
definitely.
Yeah. That's the parish I grew up in, Clarendon. It's a pretty well-known parish. It has a big market there called Maypen. That's where everyone comes to market, socialize. There's malls. It's a giant hub. There's even a school there. It's like it's like well, Kingston would be the
Yes.
Toronto
Right.
Mhm.
of Jamaica, but this is like a second close to like a city, like, but it's more like a village kind of like city
Okay.
hybrid. It's like it's wild, but it's a fun place.
It
Oh,
sounds really
nice.
Mm.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool, cool,
Hmm.
cool,
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been there. I've been to Jamaica, but I've never been to that part. So next time I go, maybe I'll check that part out because
But
I
yeah,
think
a
I've
lot of
done it
energy.
all.
Bring water,
Bring
please.
water. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
hot in the
yeah, yeah,
market. It's
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
okay.
Mhm.
See, tips from the pros.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
That's right.
So now, brother, let's trek it. Let's get the trek on. You
Right.
know, let's get that part of this of the show out of the way
Okay,
because
let's get
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
it's always going to come back to Trek anyway
Oh,
later.
yes.
So don't
Always.
worry.
Always,
Never
always.
fear.
It'll come back. We'll be back. It'll be
So,
back.
Lieutenant Christopher,
That's me.
tell us about him. What did you love about him? What did you love about playing him? Because we loved him as soon as we saw him on the screen. So,
Like,
His,
ooh.
and
so
his name is Lieutenant William Christopher because I think
Lieutenant
we always,
William
yes,
Christopher.
yes,
That's
sir.
correct. That's a
Yeah,
whole name. Good.
yeah.
I loved that role because, well, first of all, just as the actor stepping into that role, it's a new role on the show coming in season 4. So I'm just like, I don't know how anyone's gonna feel about this because I know how I am with, like Fresh Prince, and then season 3, you're just like, oh, Viv, what
right,
happened?
right.
Oh, oh,
What
oh,
happened?
not Aunt Viv.
No disrespect to the actress that played
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but she did a phenomenal job as well. It was just different,
mhm,
so it's something
yeah.
to adjust to. So I was thinking that for myself. It's like, yo, how these fans? Because I know the Star Trek fans, they
Mm,
hardcore. They'll catch it. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? There's some
Oh,
shows
we
that they'll
saw.
let certain characters slide. They'll be like, okay, whatever. He's not essential to the plot or whatever. But like Star Trek fans, they don't let it slide. So. And I thought that too, coming into this family as the actor on set, I'm just like, yo, these people have already built a relationship that has been going on 4 years strong. I'm coming in at a very weird time where we can't be close to each other because of COVID and whatnot.
Mhm.
So when I got there,
Mm.
I was surprised and very in awe of how well I was received both by the cast and the fans. I was like, it's like it was such a smooth transition for me, and because of that, it allowed me to really step into the role as this new recruit on the Discovery and try to prove myself, but with knowing what role I play on the ship without overstepping or anything. So, and I feel like the cast and the other characters were very welcoming, and we've had relationships on and off camera, and it was a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time, I would say.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we love
fantastic.
the bridge crew, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
we do.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It was funny too because when I first saw you, I was like, "Uh-oh, what is this gonna be about?" And then
Yeah, what's going on?
right off the bat, I was like, "Oh, brother
I
got
was like,
this."
they just taking away Ronnie. What's happening?
Right,
I know,
right,
I know,
right.
I
Like,
know. I was
wait
feeling
a
some
minute,
kind
Yeah.
of way.
they do know we all don't look alike, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
But then you came here, you had a new name. They
Yeah,
had they
Right,
made sure they had a story
right,
behind it.
right,
Yes.
So
right.
we
And
definitely
you
appreciated
sounded
that.
right away. You knew what you
Yeah.
were doing. I was like, "Oh, we're all right.
Oh,
We're
he
all
all
yeah,
right."
right.
good.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all
I
right,
We
wanted
all
to
right.
got
make
it.
sure I was
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
in. I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
earn my keep. I wasn't
Yep.
gonna come in.
Yep. Yep.
I have one question I wanted to ask. I know it's not really said, but did Lieutenant Christopher come with the crew from the 23rd century, or is he a 32nd century
Ooh, that's a very
officer?
good question. That's a really good question. Because I myself, I was wondering for a long time. I'm just like, guys, we're like 750 years into the future. I'm like, am I 750 years old or am I
Well,
32?
900, I think.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think it's more like
900. Even more.
900.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
So I thought too. There has been hints that I've seen throughout my time working on the show that has led me to believe that I am from the original era. For
Okay.
one, because we didn't know the show was gonna get
Right,
axed
right, right, right.
quickly, so there was plans for the future of what the next season would be. And I remember I had a fitting, and in this fitting, I'm just like, I get fittings all the time because my body fluctuates a lot. So I'm like,
Hmm.
this is routine. And then I go into my fitting room, and I'm like, is this is my uniform? You guys got this? I looked at it, I'm like, that says my name, but this is the original uniform. So yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I can't. Well, I can't expose what I don't know. I'm
Right,
saying
Right.
something,
exactly,
and I'm
exactly.
making assumptions that they're
Yeah.
gonna do another either mirror universe or going back in the past, and I
Hmm.
was gonna be featured in the past as if I'm part of the original
Partner
crew,
crew,
which
yeah.
would be cool. I'm cool with
Yeah.
either or.
Hmm.
Way,
Because
but
I think
Hmm.
I was trying to find out if I think it was just a said that you had went to the academy, and I'm like, well, the
yes,
academy wasn't
Wasn't
open
around,
when you
right?
Right.
guys, so that's why I assumed you
yeah, no,
were, and then
that's
someone told me no. I was like, ooh, I don't know, but I could have
yeah,
swore there was a mention that you had been to the academy, so I figured
yeah.
you were a part of the original crew. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
yeah,
He was
it's
just in the lower decks.
in the lower decks. Yes,
You were in the
exactly.
lower decks
I
for
was
the
just
first three
sloshing
seasons.
away. Lieutenant Bryce is like, "Yo, I need a break." It's like, thank God. Okay, I got it. I mean, funny enough, how art imitates life. I remember the first day I worked with Mr. Ronnie Rowe. Shout out to Ronnie,
Hey,
amazing,
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
amazing
Hi,
man.
Ronnie.
Ronnie. I have heard so much about Ronnie, and I've seen his work before, and I had the utmost respect for him just as an artist. So when I met him on set, I said, "Yo, man, I love your stuff, blah blah. It's an honor to like fill this role for you because it wasn't supposed to be like a complete switch. It was supposed to be
Hmm.
for now until he comes back."
Hmm.
Right.
And I remember I made a joke to him. I'm just like, I know you can't do this these days, and I'm just I'm filling in because you're working on this other project. But man, I really, really, really hope this career treats you so well.
Well,
You just get like a lead role like next month. Let's just
right,
if the casting guys are
because
listening,
I'm
I hope
good.
that for you, brother. I hope
Wishing
that for
you
you.
all the best.
And
All
it's
the best.
funny. And it's so funny because the next transition after that would be Olatunde yelling action. And my line to him is like, he said, you seems like you guys have a lot of fun with the Angeline. And I'm just like, yeah, I should cover your shifts more often. So maybe you
Yeah,
should
I
do
remember.
that. So it's just funny how that kind of like weaved itself into
Yep.
the actual reality of what it became. And I'm just like, wow, I guess this was meant to happen. It was such a smooth transition. He leveled up and I came in. I'm like,
That's it.
yeah.
That was perfect. It was perfect. Yep.
I love that. Now tell it, is there something that you know about Lieutenant Christopher that you created, like in your head, like for your head canon for him that nobody else knows?
Yeah, this is so funny because on paper, on document, I am hired as a communications officer. So people have a perspective of what that means. This nerdy guy listening to radio waves from like a million light years away and whatever. Sure, that's a part of the job, but for me, I like to bring myself as a part of the characters, and I'm a very active guy. So I see Lieutenant Christopher when he's on the bridge, he's back home, he's going on adventures,
Mhm.
he's going into rainforest, he's doing all these like fun adventure action stuff that you don't really get to see in the show, but that's part of the reason why I wanted to bring it in, as he's someone that can manage the stress of being on the crew very well because of what he does in his personal life, all this
Mm.
adventure stuff. And I wish we got to see that because we've hinted at certain things like near season 4, the end of season 4, we're breaching the galactic barrier.
Mhm.
And they were just the casting directors, the writers of the show were just like, we're gonna add stuff that these characters do to, get these fans,
Mhm.
more connected with them. And I had put some things forward, and what they ended up using was skiing. I know how to snowboard, not well now. It's been a while, but like just to show that Lieutenant Christopher is not just like at the
Yep.
desk all day.
Ah,
He's
Mhm.
active and
that would
he's
have been
fun and
my
all
guy.
that.
That's my
And
guy.
I said,
Yep.
so yeah,
I mean, you're in great company. I mean, there aren't many communications officers. I mean,
yeah.
there's you, there's Bryce, there's Hoshi,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Uhura. I
Mhm.
Yeah,
mean,
Hey,
you can't
yeah,
get better than that.
Right?
yeah.
You can't get better than that. Wow.
I love it. I love it. Oh, okay. I thought it looked like Sabrina was about to be like, and
no, I'm
he's
still stuck on skiing. I thought like that's the one thing.
The ski bunny over there.
Yeah.
From Jamaica.
No, listen, that's when I started like throwing down my gloves. I was never a ski bunny. I was a ski bum.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Major differentiation.
Okay. My bad.
Were the ski bunnies the ones like up at the
Ski bunnies was sitting at the opera ski, not skiing. They were just sitting in the
Oh,
bar.
that's me.
I was a ski bunny then.
Right.
Yeah.
I was working. I was on the mountain working, okay?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a ski bum. Okay,
Oh
I
yeah,
get it.
I was a
Right.
ski
I was a
bunny,
ski
like,
bunny.
watching you work.
Right.
Like,
Wait for my child to
like
come
sitting
from
with
down
some
from
hot
the
cocoa
mountain.
and stuff
That's what I
going,
was doing.
Right.
she must be cold out there. She's like,
That would be me. I was
look
cold
at her.
out there.
She looked cold.
Oh, it's cold out
See?
there.
See?
Okay. All right. So you grew up in Jamaica and then you went where? To Canada?
Yeah, Jamaica straight to Canada, and
Like how old were you?
I was 12 years old.
Oh, when
Major
you moved to
shock.
Canada?
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
you
2007.
grew up part Jamaican and part in Canadian.
That's correct.
Which part of Canada were you in?
I was in Brampton, so it was still Ontario. The small, still developing. Like as a kid, when my dad was telling me that he would come and get me to come to Canada, I had these like fantasies of what it would be like because I knew about America, but I didn't know what Canada was.
Right?
Right.
So I'm like, it's right next to each other, so it must be the same. So I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna have a tree house. I'm gonna have a big backyard. When I got to Brampton, there wasn't even a lawn. It was just dirt and mud.
Oh,
The house was
wow.
empty because my dad just moved in, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
is going on? And my dad, he works. He does the highways. He does like the tarring for the highways. So we work like
Oh,
crazy
okay.
hours overnight. So I'd be alone in the house by myself,
Oh my
like
gosh.
now developing town, and I'm just like, this is terrifying. This is
Oh
not
my
what I'm expecting.
gosh.
Yeah, but I got used to it eventually, but like it was just like this is what and the snow. I was like, I couldn't wait to see snow. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be crazy. And I forgot one key factor that comes with snow. Cold.
Yes.
I don't like being cold. And there's as a kid, I'm just like, I'm not thinking about the negatives. I'm just like, it's
Right.
unformed
So
optimism.
pretty.
It's gonna be so pretty. It's gonna be so cool. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. It's falling down my back. Yo, what's going
And
on?
did you have to shovel it?
Yes, I did. My dad was very big on manual labor. I remember one
Yes.
time when I came in, there's a bunch of dishes, and I remember looking at it, I'm just like, why don't we hook up this dishwasher? It's big. Just like, you're the dishwasher. I'm
That's
like,
right.
oh.
I was the same way. We have
All
a
right,
dishwasher. It's still not hooked up. It's still
Yeah,
sitting
yeah,
there
to this
looking pretty.
day.
So
To
why
this
was
day,
it
my dad
even
has a
there?
dishwasher.
I don't
It came with the
understand.
house.
It came with the house. Yeah.
I see.
I had
I
three
see.
I had three dishwashers, and I didn't need no. You want cash? Because they're always asking for cash. You got to do something for this cash. Come
It's
on.
true. It's true.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
That must have
That's
been a major shock.
right.
But my
Yeah.
mother came from a warm country and she came here think the same thing. She thought the snow was going to be wonderful. And she got here and it was like, when she came, okay, she was wearing yellow suede boots when she got here. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
mom,
mama.
Oh.
no, that's
And
only happens
she went
in
to
Calcutta,
Boston
India.
too, right?
Yeah, she came from Calcutta, India to London and to Boston, and she's wearing like all this wrong stuff, in the picture that we have of her.
Oh, now you know.
Yep. She got the galoshes. She got galoshes eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So where you grew up, like, were there a lot of other black kids or was it a mixed community or what was it like?
In Brampton, I'm
Mhm.
assuming.
Hmm.
In Brampton,
Yeah, in Brampton.
yeah.
Not
I
Jamaica.
I was like, let me see what county amount of black kids are in Jamaica. I'll take it. Um, No, but in Brampton, when I went there, it was a pretty diverse like town when I was there because everyone was kind of moving in to see this is the vibe they want or not because Brampton didn't really have an identity; it just had land. So
Mm.
we get a lot of different settlers. We got Indian, we got Caucasians, we got Asians, we got blacks, mainly Jamaican because there's a lot of Jamaican restaurants on there. There's a large population of Jamaican people that settled there. Now going back to Brampton, it's developed so much. It's actually kind of crazy looking at the time map in my head,
Mhm.
and it's completely different now. It's not as diverse anymore. But the population has boomed to an
Wow.
astounding amount. It's
Wow.
Wow.
crazy. It's
That's
crazy. Brampton used
awesome.
to be empty. You could hear a pin drop. Now it's just like, whoa, where did all these
Wow.
people come from? What y'all
What's
doing
what's the big thing there? What is everybody doing there? I mean, what are you doing in Brampton,
What are you
Canada?
doing in
What are you
Brampton?
doing in Brampton, Canada? Like,
Honestly, honestly, anytime someone tells me they're from Brampton and they still live in Brampton, I'm like, what are you doing there? I want to know.
I mean,
If
what's
you're
the
not if you're not
the
working for the
economic
government or in real
driver?
estate, what are you doing there? It's a great place. Let me tell you something. Before preface this, Brampton is a beautiful place. It has a lot of great lakes and little ponds. I mean, and flowers, and it's a very quiet and fairly safe place to live. You want to go and settle down and raise a family, get your real estate business booming, go there. If you're trying to be an artist,
Mhm.
you kind of have to leave because the ceiling is pretty low for art there. So
Mm.
it just wasn't a place for me. I know of a lot of friends who are artists who still live in Brampton who are thriving. It doesn't completely hold you back, but it's like it
Hmm.
makes it a little bit more difficult to network and to like be in the city where most of the action is taking place anyways.
It's not
Right.
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto, yeah. So, but
Hmm.
Brampton is just boring. It's so easy to like fall in love with it and then not know 10 years later that you just been sitting in the same place for like
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
get that.
so
Yeah.
comfy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't the comfort. I'm not at that phase in my life where that's
Hmm.
completely what I'm seeking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Hmm.
feel that. That's such a good way to describe that. And so, like, you got bit by the bug really early, right? Like, you
yes, I
started
did.
performing. Like, how young were you when you started performing, or were you always a performer?
I felt
Mhm.
like I was always a performer. I just never told anybody. And
Hmm.
when that was at a very young age as a kid, I went through the typical, I'm an only child, I don't have any brothers or siblings, so all I got is these toys and these stories in my head. But it was
Mhm.
just the length of how long those stories went on for that kind of
Mm.
like said to me that maybe there's something there I should nurture. I just don't know what it is because there's no one around me in that field of work to even say, yo, you ever thought about doing this, you ever thought about that? It was more my imagination, and it always came out in a performing kind of like way where I create these narratives and these characters, and I'll try to act them out, give my action figures, my toys, all these voices and different storylines. And it's always been something that's been kind of like an escape for me, and I loved it. And I was always a very shy kid, but for whatever reason, when it came to like performing or doing a presentation, I wouldn't have as much nerve as be as nervous as to say like I go do a written math test. I'm just
Right.
I've
Right.
been studying for this test all night, but I'm just like I'm so nervous I'm gonna fail it. But whereas performing, there was always a comfort I found in it. It being a shy kid, which is kind of like weird, but like I
No, we've heard that so many times
Yeah,
from
heard
yeah
that a
artists
lot. Yeah.
yeah
that
Hmm.
it's almost like a an outlet for them, it's a way to
yeah
right to not be themselves but and get everything that they're feeling out. So that's not unusual at all.
yeah.
When you decided to be an actor, performer, and artist, was your family supportive?
Yes and no, and the yes is one side and the no is the other. My
Mhm.
dad was very
Oh, okay.
supportive. My dad's just like, as long as you're not stealing or scamming people, I support whatever you do. You should just follow your dreams no matter what they are. I'm just here to support. I'm not here to dictate you. So he had a very good, because that's how he wanted his life to be. So he was fair and he allowed me to be that way, no matter what I chose. He was surprised I chose that because I said he was very shy. He's like, an actor? I thought you'd be a veterinarian or something. You love animals, but you want to go in front of people and talk? Wow. All right. What can we do about this? My mom, on the other hand, she's very reserved. So her non-support at the beginning was more so out of fear because she didn't understand what
Yeah.
Yeah.
life looked like.
Mhm. Yep.
So she was more so not saying that I shouldn't do it, but I should consider doing something else so I can get XYZ, stability, money, do this. This is
Mhm.
like
Of
just that track of
course.
mind as a mom who
Yeah.
wants me
Sure.
to be okay.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people can see that as just complete, your parents is trying to take over you and
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh
But
no.
like,
But that's not what it is,
Mm.
it's
though, at
not really
all.
what it
No,
is. Yeah.
No.
And
That's
they
most
want
people,
love.
the best for you. They want you to be
exactly.
okay. Yeah,
Mm.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
which is why like the most powerful tool that we have in our arsenal as human beings is our perspective. And because
Hmm.
I was able to see her through that perspective lens, I could understand what that
Yeah.
was, and I know
Hmm.
how to, talk to her and have these
Hmm.
conversations about it. And eventually, it was just one day when I was just telling her about on set that I was working, and then she's just like, "Oh, that's good, that's great. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't wait to see you on the screen." And I'm like, "Really?"
Hmm.
Just wants to make sure you could make some money and eat.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
You were
That's
like, put
right.
my mom back on the phone.
Yeah, yeah. But ever since then, she's been super supportive, and I
Yeah.
think that really kind of like fed into the success that I've gained or still gaining is because I have that support system behind me, and we have a good understanding of each other. So when things are up, and it's easy to understand when things are up. When things are down, who are the people that are going to understand you? Because that's when it could be like a really, it could really wear you down and kind of like
Sure.
put you out. But
Hmm.
because they understand the industry, because I've had so many conversations between them, when a strike is happening, they don't go, "Oh, why don't you just go down to Netflix and tell them to stop that?" And I'm like, understand. And they're just like, "Well, I hope it goes well." They're even, I don't remember who it was, but they sent me an article. It was with my mom and my dad. And I'm just like, "Whoa, you guys are reading up on my industry right now." This
Of
is crazy.
course. Of course
Yeah,
they
so
are.
so the support is has been amazing, and that extends to like all my other family members, my siblings, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, like everyone is like very on board. If anything, some of them they come up to me and be like, "Huh, so you're an actor, huh? How can I get an agent?" And I'm like, "So, okay,
Oh my goodness. Here
all
we
right,
go. You're the connection
all
now.
right, all right, Uncle Junior, okay."
So did any of
Every-
them turn into Trekkies?
Yeah.
Did-
I think one of my uncles, he watches Star Trek. He even got like he's gotten the Blu-rays since I've been on it. He's just like,
Oh,
get
that's
the
so
Blu-ray into
cool.
collector's edition. And he has like I have 50 Lieutenant Christopher pins that were printed, so it's a limited
Mhm,
edition. I was
mhm.
able to get my hands on one specifically for him, and now it is on
Nice.
a convention bag
I
with him.
love it.
It's like, wow.
Oh yeah, I know
I
he's
love
so
That's so
excited.
that.
cool.
That is so
Yeah.
cool. So cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God, I love that so much. I like how you were talking about the perspective, being able to see people from a different perspective, which of course is, or somebody through somebody else's perspective. Of course, it's a beautiful gift for an actor, but I think about, like I was thinking while you were talking, like what a valuable gift that is for all of us, right? That, as an actor, you're trained to look at through other people's perspectives, but wow, what a beautiful thing. It is that we could learn, the rest of us could learn from your skill. I was just thinking about like learning to look at my mother as the human being that she is and not as the title of mother,
Mhm.
and how
Yeah.
long it took me to do that in
Right.
my life.
Mhm.
I mean, in my late 40s and early 50s, learning to take the title off of her and look at her as the human being that she is, and
Mhm.
therefore get a much richer understanding of her and the choices that she's made, and everything, and being
Mhm.
able to give her some grace instead of holding on
Yes.
to that, all those childhood resentments of you didn't do this or X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Like all of us have all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but being able to really look at her as a human being and accept her for that. This is beautiful. Yeah. Like I don't have a question there. I just love
Yeah.
But I loved it too, because when you were saying it, I was like, wow. I said maybe that's because you're an only child that you were able to go through that. Because I have children your age, and yeah, yeah, no.
I feel like everyone arrives at that perspective. It's just either they arrive by their own volition. They did the inner work. They try to understand, or just one day they're just like, huh, I finally get it. I finally
Yeah.
understand.
hmm
Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I look at my mom through that perspective, but my dad, I looked at him through a different perspective. He's the one that I put the title on because for the first 12 years of my life, it's just been me and my mom alone in Jamaica. My
Okay.
dad was still in my life, but he was
Right.
in a different country. So he was still supporting me and everything. And when I came up here, it was a completely different energy going from my mom who literally doesn't want me to lift a finger to do this to my dad, just like it's time to mow the lawn, it's time to do these dishes. I'm like, what
Hmm.
are you talking about? It's like
Right.
like no, that's why I had you. I'm like, oh, no one told me I didn't sign up for this. So I always saw him, yeah. So I always saw him as like the authoritative figure, and that was from and there was things that he would do that I just like didn't understand as compared to my mom. But as I got older, I find myself in certain situations where I start acting like my dad in order to like get through this or to learn something from this. And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this is what you've been teaching. It's like straight up Mr. Miyagi. It's like wax on, wax off. What does it have to do with Kung Fu? This has nothing to do with Kung Fu. Until it comes to a situation where you're waxing on and waxing off and you're kicking butt. And I'm like, this is crazy. So so yeah, sometimes you arrive at those perspectives through experiences in your life, and you can fully see what that person was trying to tell you. Because you never know someone until like you walk in their shoe. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So you
Yeah.
had to. So I had to arrive at that from my dad from a different journey.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
get that.
that's beautiful. I
Yeah.
got other questions for you.
Yeah,
Like
go.
I'm going back to this childhood because I want to go to the development of Orville Cummings, so when you were growing up, like you come from Jamaica and then you go through like culture shock, right? In Canada. But it was you said it was a pretty diverse area that you grew up in. So, I mean, how was it handling coming from I'm interested in a perspective of coming from a world that was all black or majority black to this other world where like, black people are not the majority. And, and it's not just our skin, like, right? It's your culture, you're leaving everything. How was that transition for you?
Yeah, so that transition for me went a little bit. It was great. I'll just keep it short. Say it was great because I had so much like time knowing that I was gonna come to Canada or go to a
Hmm.
foreign place. So, I'm watching my television, I'm getting my perspective, and based on like what my parents tell me about like, certain type of people affects how I, kind of like see them before I even meet them. So
Hmm.
going up here, I was just like, okay, these type of people like this is up. It's like very like narrow-minded like ways of looking at people. But as I got here, hanging out with the kids, I'm just like, okay, the white kids are probably not gonna like me. The black kids are gonna think I'm cool. I don't know how to talk to the Asian kids. I like Indian people because I'm a third Indian. So let's go. And then when I got here, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You mean it doesn't matter?
Ah.
Doesn't matter? All my time I've been trying to like figure out how to talk to you versus you when you guys are in the same group already liking the same stuff. Yeah, I want to
Right.
play Yu-Gi-Oh! Shut up.
Ah, you're all Canadians. You're all
Yeah,
Canadians.
yeah. So it was very like welcoming and warm to see that because I put so much pressure on myself to try to fit in because
Hmm.
I felt like funny enough, I felt like the school in Jamaica, I had a harder time fitting in. And now when there's not no race as like a factor as to like who hangs out with you and whatever, people start looking at different things. And at least the school I went to,
Yeah.
I was to hang out with the other boys. I needed to be as big as them, and I wasn't
Mm.
a very small in stature. I needed to be as tough as them. Wasn't as tough as these guys. This is crazy.
Hmm.
Playing crickets, and I'm like, how are you hitting the ball that hard? This is crazy. Or I needed to be as intelligent as them. And I felt like I didn't meet their requirements. And I felt it more because it was, kids don't have any filter. So
Yeah,
Right.
Right.
you think
yeah,
they're
yeah.
pretty. We don't want to
Right.
hang out with you because of XYZ. And I'm like, oh, this is
Mm.
crazy. So it was hard for me to get my bearings there. I felt like if I stayed in Jamaica a little bit longer, I would have because I was still coming into my own and I was a
Mhm.
very sheltered kid. So these kids had different upbringing. So we weren't brought up on the same lessons. So
Hmm.
I felt like I would have adjusted, but like it was such a weird feeling not adjusting to my hometown, my home school in Jamaica, and then coming up here into a foreign land, and everyone's just like, new kids here, let's party. Like literally my first friend, in school, he was sitting in front of me, and he turns around, and he offers me some candy, and I'm just like, okay, I'll take it. And he's like, you want to be my friend? I'm like, all right, sure, cool. And then we're friends. And I was like, oh, that
Aw.
was so easy.
I
I'm
love that.
like stressing over nothing. I'm wearing my shirt incorrectly. I'm trying to look like dapper or whatever. And I'm like, I don't even have the sense of style. I just put on something that I
Doing some
thought
Fresh Prince.
was fresh. Yeah, literally, like the bow tie and the cap and everything, trying to fit in like it's crazy.
Too cute.
Oh God, I
You
so
want to
love
be my
that.
friend.
I
Oh,
I
know
love
that's
that. That is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
right.
That is awesome.
and
Be
you
my
got
friend.
candy.
You got candy? Yeah.
It's such a
That's-
relief to hear about somebody going someplace and it was easy and it was fun
Mhm.
and you got candy.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
there's hope in the
Right?
world.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, because sometimes it just does not turn out that well.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
what I was worried
So,
about,
so
but
yeah, so glad it did though. Wow.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
So now you
Mhm.
still live in Canada. You live
Toronto, yes.
in
In
Toronto now.
Toronto.
Yeah, yeah.
For now, I am planning on moving out of the city to the United States to
Really?
California.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
for the weather and the work, you know. So
Hmm.
oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
uh, the winter's looming around the corner. I see these trees dying every day, and I'm just like, oh Lord,
Already? Already? Oh
Oh
my God.
yeah,
it's
like
coming for me.
clockwork,
Yeah, I'm stepping
Yeah.
on
clockwork.
He
leaves, and
said
I'm
it's
like,
coming for me. That's how I
it's coming
feel.
for me.
Like
The
it's
winter here
coming
is
for me.
not nice.
I,
It is
I, uh,
not, man.
It's
It's a
not.
beast. I remember the
Yes.
close as I've gotten to that far, like north, is either like the times I was in Chicago or no, Dearborn, and then
Ooh.
but like I went to school in Syracuse, New York, and you know, I don't know what possessed me, but I was there, right? Like my little southern ass was in Syracuse, like seeing all the time, and I mean, and it never stopped snowing.
never. Especially
It
when
never.
especially in the 90s, it just never stopped. It was
No, in the
always,
right,
it was
89,
insane.
89
It
and
was
90s,
insane.
it was just
Yeah.
like,
Well,
and it's
I'm
like
sorry. I
all
was
the
not there in the 90s. I was there in the late
no, I
80s.
was 80. Yeah, you
80s.
were a
Yes,
couple years
yes.
before me,
Yes,
but
yes, yes.
but
Sometimes I
dude, I
forget.
mean, it was sick, and I was like, oh my God, I don't care if I ever see snow again.
Mhm.
I mean, just like, constant. And I'm like, and they don't cancel class
Wimps.
for this shit.
Mm-mm.
It's 6 feet of snow
Right.
outside. Like, why am I traipsing across the
I was worse
world?
than her. I was 45. I was an hour away from you in Oswego, which is right on Lake
Oh wow.
Ontario.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
And
yeah.
let me tell you,
Yep.
they never cancel
Lake
class.
effect
Mm-mm,
snow.
no,
Lake
no, they
effect
don't
snow
cancel
right
class
here.
for it.
Like you put your hand here, like, is my
Right?
hand really there? Because I can't see it.
It looks like a blizzard, and I
Yeah.
still have to go to class.
Yep.
They
Oh,
have
thank
ropes out. You have to follow the
Right.
ropes.
Oh my God.
Trying to get out of
Insane.
that. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah,
No.
so you're gonna leave Little Hollywood and go to Big Hollywood.
Right.
Yes, big Hollywood. That's correct.
And you may end up back in
That's
Toronto
that's how
because that's where they're gonna film.
That's where
I've
everything is
already
shooting.
predicted
So,
it for myself. As soon as I get there,
yep.
They're gonna
we
ship
text
you
me,
back.
they're like, "How we need you on a
Right.
flight back?" I'm like, "You guys
Ship
can."
you, ship you right back.
Keep an apartment there, whatever you
Yeah,
do.
because we're actually really hoping that you'll make it some appearances on Starfleet Academy.
You
I
just
mean,
Oh
took the
yeah,
words right out of
oh,
my
sorry.
mouth.
We got to. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world to have that bridge crew back on TV because
Hmm.
I believe they did not get their due,
No,
and I believe that
neither bridge crew.
no, none of them,
Right,
none of
like,
the bridge crew, and
right.
I don't know what Discovery fans have this love affair with the bridge crew that seems like Paramount just did not understand.
Hmm.
Right,
And
right.
I need to see them again.
Right.
I believe we got gypped in the fifth season because our we had new people come in, which I was happy with them. But what happened to my original crew? I mean,
Right. That we
I
spent.
understand the assignment, but I needed more, especially for that last season. I think
Right.
it was very
Hmm.
heartbreaking that everybody wasn't together. So I'm really hoping we get to see you guys in Starfleet
Yep.
Academy. I know you can't tell us anything if it is, but I definitely would like that. Just let you know, Paramount, if you're listening,
And we
Paramount.
we
know
know
you
you are.
are.
You are. They got the search tag. So when someone says start
Oh, yeah, yeah.
to
And we already know. They listen to our podcast. Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like it would make our little hearts happy to see you
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I would love to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah. So what's coming up next for you, like
Hmm.
that you can talk about?
So far, what I have is I shot a feature film last year
Oh,
that I
cool.
was a supporting lead in. It just premiered in the Sudbury Film Festival yesterday. It was the first.
Oh,
It will be coming to Toronto in October. Um,
what's it called?
it's called Morningside. Uh,
Okay.
Yes, it's a film based on true events, and it's just this community center. This hub of community centers. And you meet all these characters that go to this community centers for different reasons, and how their lives all intertwine. And then something happens that kind of shakes the whole community up. That and they have to, they're trying to. This is their last hurrah. Let's just say
Mhm.
Wow.
it's a very like a very good story, but it could go into very like dark and serious matters. So I'm if the director's watching me promote this, he's just like, why is he smiling and so happy about this story? I mean, he shouldn't be smiling. He should be mean mugging because I do play a very dark and
Mm.
serious character in that movie, which is very
Mhm.
different. It's funny enough. One of the PAs was from Star Trek was on set, and he recognized me. He's like, "Orville, what are you doing here?" I'm just like, "Oh, I'm on this. I'm the one of the supporting lead on this movie." He's like, "Oh, what do you play?" And then I said, "Just watch." And he saw the scene and he's just like, "Wow, be different than Lieutenant Christopher." I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Acting. It's called
Kind of
acting.
kind of show the range.
That's right. That's
Yeah, so
right.
that movie is doing its festival run right now. It should be coming out next February in theaters, and
Okay.
so theaters
Mm.
in Canada and the US.
Cool.
We will be looking for that
I
for
am
sure.
definitely looking
All
for
right.
that
Yes.
one.
Put that on your festival list,
Yeah.
Sabrina, because we know you're going to be hitting up some fest.
Already
Please remember
there.
me
Already there.
as this guy. Remember, at the end of the
I
day,
know.
watching the movie, I'm still
I
this
read the
guy.
plot. I
Me
was like,
too. I read it. I
what?
was like, oh.
Oh.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
Awesome.
tell me,
Awesome.
I was fascinated by that. So, I kept on going with all of your other things in
Yeah.
Internet Movie Database. Tell me a little bit about a bite of mango, because this is like the same director, same writer that
Yeah.
did Morningside.
Yes.
So,
Yes. So this director, uh, he hit me up and he wanted me to tape for this feature, his first feature, by the Flamingo. And I'm like, yeah, yeah,
oh
of
man.
course, sure. This is like right before Star Trek, probably like a month before.
Okay.
And he needs to cast this role like ASAP because they're shooting next week. So I did within 2, 3 days. He told me I got the part. I pulled up to the set right away. I was like, this is the fastest turnaround ever. This is crazy. I'm things on set and everything. And it turned out to be one of the best things I've done just in the industry whole because it felt like a lot of people on set, I knew them from before. Like I know them through work and we hang out, and some of them are like a close friends of mine. But even the people I didn't know, we all became like really close friends. And 2020 and that movie really allowed me to change my perspective on what family is because now I said this to one of my friends and she's so upset. If she's watching this, she's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna keep spreading this perspective again. I told her that you can actually choose your family, like the people who gave
Hmm.
birth to you and are blood,
Hmm.
just your relative,
Oh
your
yeah.
family. You get to choose that, and that
Hmm.
was such a big thing for me because I
You're
love my
sitting with ours.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
because I love my relatives, but we live so far apart from each other, and
Oh
we
yeah.
don't make as much time to see each other anymore. And I'm just like, these people, we're hanging out all the time, and we're chilling, and we're doing all the things that I thought I would be doing with my family. Like
Right.
it's
Hmm.
my family,
Right. Hmm.
and they're my family to this day. Everyone in that movie is my brother, my sister, my uncle, my
Hmm.
auntie, and it was a very special movie for me. As again, it was shot in the pandemic, and it was about the pandemic. This couple that was having a baby, and they were trying to figure out what to do with it, and
Hmm.
they couldn't really decide. So the entire story follows that main narrative with the other things going on during that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of political stuff in the story and a lot of like homages to like great films like She's Gotta Have It and Do the Right
Mm.
Thing. So
Ooh, she's got
yeah,
to
the
have
This
it.
director.
this movie has one of the highest ratings I've ever seen on Internet Movie Database. It's got
Wow.
an
Really?
Oh, really?
8.8 critic rating, and I'm
Oh,
like,
does
well,
it?
wait, wait.
I haven't really checked. That's crazy.
Oh,
Wow.
I
Wow.
always check the rating. But but you can only get it on one streamer. It's like it's one of those things where okay, it's a black film and it's going to be on the all black channel, and it's hard to find it. So
Mm.
if you can look for it, Bite of a Mango or Morningside, which will come out later, check it out. It is streaming now. It's got an 8.8, which I'm telling you, I don't see 8.8s very often at
Wow.
all.
What streaming platform is it on?
All black,
Oh,
all
Yeah.
okay.
black.
Can't
Hmm.
see all black.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
only
yeah,
place
yeah.
you can get it right now. You know what? Go in there and hit, add to watch list. That works.
Yes. Yes. Add to watch list.
Okay.
Hit add to watch list
Put
that
what if they
tells
have
them
a
you want
thumbs
to see
up,
it.
do a
Yeah.
thumbs up, do all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why it's there. It's not
That's
there. It's there for a reason,
that's the
all
Right.
that
purpose.
If you
stuff.
want to
Yeah.
see a film and it's not streaming yet, hit add to watch list and it
Mhm.
registers.
And do the
Good.
same thing for Star Trek Discovery. I mean, watch. I always say watch it. Just watch it and make
Hmm.
sure you say I like it. Give it a thumbs up.
Hmm.
Right.
No matter where you're watching it. I know it's only on the platforms for
Paramount.
Paramount, but still, if you it's not on Pluto yet, but in Paramount, just make sure every time they ask you, "Do you
Yes.
like this?"
Vote for your favorite episodes. Like you vote for
Yes,
Right.
your
exactly.
presidential candidates,
That's
vote for
right.
your
That's
episodes.
right. That's
Use
right.
your
Get used to
Get in
it. Get
there.
used to
Get in
that
there
voting.
pushing the button.
Get
Come
in
on,
there.
folks.
Click, 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 click,
use
click.
That's
your
it.
superpower.
That's right. Don't forget your purple cape.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. See,
We can
y'all
always
think
get
I'm
it back to
playing.
voting.
No, I'm getting
Y'all
my purple
think
cape. I'm gonna
I'm
get a
getting
purple.
my purple cape.
I'm gonna put a big S on it.
Ooh, that's gonna look
You
sick.
know? Oh yeah.
With that.
It's called is it Bite of a Mango?
Bite
Bite
of a
of a
mango.
mango. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so when I Google it right now, it says that you can watch it on YouTube TV,
Mm.
a Prime subscription,
Oh, really?
Sling, Amazon
Oh,
Prime, and YouTube TV.
Okay. The
awesome.
Internet
Okay.
Movie Database has got wrong information.
Hmm.
And
Good. Good.
wow,
Good.
that's good that you can
That's
see
awesome.
Yeah,
outlets.
so I will be going on my
I'll
Prime
put
account
the
and
I'll put the
looking for
link
that.
in the description of the show
Hmm.
so that people can click on it.
And
Yeah.
Morningside is going to premiere in February.
I
That's
Hmm.
cannot wait.
Don't
That
forget
sounds so
us. Don't
good.
forget us for Morningside. We'd love
yes,
to help you promote that
percent.
if you need it.
Hmm.
We're always here for that. I did want to ask you, I know when we were in Vegas, you talked about and then I think a while ago you had told me you had to do a vending thing.
Yes.
And can you tell us about your company that you have t-shirts and
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
100%. Again, it's not a visual podcast, but I'll show you guys.
Oh, I
Ooh.
love that.
Oh
That's the one. That's the one we
God,
saw.
that's
That's
the one.
so
You
beautiful.
guys, you guys have to see this art. You have to
Yeah.
go to his website.
Yes,
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 yes, yes,
yes.
yes, yes. I will have
So
the website in the description also.
yes,
So, mhm.
yes, I'll have that too. The So I have essentially two companies. My first company is a resistance band company that I started during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
It was more so for myself because I love going to the gym and I couldn't. So I went the resistance band route and
Mhm.
I tried a bunch and there's always something wrong with the one I got. It was either
Right.
it's either the thin weird ones or the tube ones that get tangled.
Yeah.
And I even like broke one of them. And not to say I'm like the Hulk or anything, but I kind of like did. So I was just doing some research as to like, what the problems of resistance bands are and is there any alternative. And I found this new type of like product that they were kind of like doing, which is like a fabricated resistance band that was a long. They've had the fabric one for years, but it's like mainly for like leg and lower body workouts.
Hmm.
Kind of created a long version of it. I'm like, oh, let me order this. And I use it. I'm like, oh, I love this. I'm like, no one knows about this. It's crazy. So I got creative because I got a lot of time and I created this company called
That
Captain.
damn pandemic, it'll do it to you.
Damn it. So I had a lot of time. So I created this company called Tapped In Fitness where my goal was to, change people's perspective on what you need to be fit because like now they're telling us that we can't go to the gym to work out, but I'm just like that can't stop you. And for a lot of people, we can do calisthenics workout with your body, but if you want a little bit more juice than that, you're gonna need some resistance. And these resistance band really truly was helping me because I was like, wow, I'm even in more shape than I was at the gym, and
Mm.
I feel tired all the time because my joints aren't aching. This is crazy.
Mm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I wanted to like spread that with people, and because I started this company, it allowed me to connect with more of my friends and like get them outside, and we meet at the park. Everyone got their bands, and we all would just do group workouts, and I would lead the workouts, and it was a great way. And I built a community, and I kind of learned how to be a better leader through that venture, and that was really very important to me. And my other outlet outside of that was painting. And I would always do these painting. My girlfriend loves all these painting, but I just think she's biased because I'm like, I'm not Picasso, but all
Uh,
my paintings
Please don't be
yes, he is.
Picasso.
Yes, he is. He's better than Picasso. Like,
I'm gonna say,
shocker. Like, no, I'm just saying, like his what we saw, the little bit of your art that we
Yeah.
saw
it's
was
Yeah. It's
amazing, just
absolutely beautiful. It's
astounding.
the
It's
colors.
gorgeous.
I love the colors.
thank you,
They're
thank you.
so earthy and
Yes,
so
I love earth
real,
colors. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love to do earth tone colors. So when I do my paintings, I always wanted to kind of like invoke an emotion. I mean, obviously it's art, so it's subjective, but I do have specific ways I want people to feel. This one is just like, for those of you, because it's not a visual podcast,
Hmm.
it's just imagine two people kissing, and it's the moment right before the kiss, which is the most intense moment and the moment that's like captured forever. And I wanted to theme it after one of my favorite chocolate bars, the Reese's Buttercups. So the
Ooh.
color palette kind of came from that. And
Yeah.
just called the painting Cocoa Butter Kisses. And
Ooh.
I just love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cocoa butter kisses.
I
Cocoa
love
Butter
Woo,
it. I love
child.
it.
Yes.
I'm in love with that.
Wow, that brings up all kinds of memories.
Mm.
And the fact that like it's like a zoom
Cocoa.
close up of that moment, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I mean, oh, I love to talk about
Mhm.
perspective,
Yes.
And those beautiful black
Stand up. We
lips.
got to take a
right?
Oh,
screen print.
And
Yes.
lips.
right.
Hmm.
Such
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful
Yes.
work.
So I do a lot of my paintings. Some of them are a bit out there because it's a lot of like women, and it's like a lot of them are just in the nude. And so my parents always ask me, why are you always painting naked women? And my answer is so lame. I'm like, because I don't know how to draw dudes. I'll just end up with a square. But I love how when you draw a woman, you have to do a lot of curves, and
Yeah.
that is satisfying to me, like painting curves.
Hmm.
So that's where I found the comfort in doing it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like you go into my parents' house and you see some painting, you're like, whoa, you guys really put this out there to let everyone see. Huh? That one was a risky one. There's one where it's like a lady, she's laying naked on the cloud and the hand of God comes down and strikes her with thunder. It's really out there.
Wow.
But
I need to see that one.
yeah, but to condense all
Wow.
my stories about each of my art, a couple of friends have told me that, I should put my art on things. And, I don't really like. I'm not the kind of guy that always wants to capitalize off something per se, just for the sake of profit, unless I enjoy doing it. So I made the shirt for myself, and I liked wearing it. I'm like, oh, I like this. I go out, and people are like, oh, this is a nice shirt. This is cool. And someone's like, where can I get it? I'm like, you can't. Haha, it's only one. It's like, well, get me one, please, and I'll pay you for it. I'm like, okay, fine. And then one ass turned to another ass, and I'm like, all
Mhm.
right, there's a demand for it. Because I wanted my art to be very like exclusive. Um, but I always do one little thing to change it so it's not completely like the original.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Painting,
Hmm.
like, "Ah, wait a minute, what about that?" And I was like, ha 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 ha. I have the original. I have the original. Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
So where can people, like, if they want to like look at your art, where should they go?
So this business is very new.
Okay.
By new, I mean like a couple weeks that I really, created like
And we
an.
caught you right in the
Yeah,
beginning.
you caught
Oh,
me right in
yeah.
their production. Like I've developed like an Etsy page for it. In the future, I will be moving to an independent website.
Cool.
But for now, when I have the time to go through all of
Yeah.
that, how much time that dedicates to that, but I'm in the process of moving right now and dealing with my visa. So that's
Mhm.
kind of like in an automated state where it's just like it's there, and if you want it, you buy it, it'll get to you,
Hmm.
I promise. And when in a couple of months, I'm gonna put up a lot more designs because I have so many designs that I vectorize to go up there. I have a full plan. I just need to make sure when I start that, I'm fully locked in. So
Yeah, that's
Mm.
so exciting.
I
Exciting for
see.
yeah,
real.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Because funny
Eh,
thing about the vendor thing, that was like a couple of weeks ago. Um, I've never done a vendor before, and I want to like selling a product. So I
mhm.
wanted to like put both businesses out there. I'm just like, I don't even have a name for this t-shirt company. So I'm like, what did I call it? So I ended up calling it Coco. XOXOA is how it's spelled. And
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, I put it on this like cool little template and I put the design. I'm like, oh wow, did I just come up with a logo in like 5 minutes? This is crazy. So just went to place. I'll make some customizations to it later because I do also want, because again, because I'm sharing my art, I kind of just want to go all the way with it. So
Yeah.
there's more details I want to add to the design that I wasn't able to add in the painting. So it'll be a little even more different, but it'll be unique on its own. And at the back, I want to share some of my poetry that I've been writing throughout the years.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
little snippets of it here and there, just little quotables, and they're like, "Oh, that's nice." It's like a nice
Love it.
little like a kiss, you know? So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's where that's at right now.
You know
Awesome.
what? I am so in love with you right now.
So
I'm just gonna
cool.
put that out on blast right now.
Thank you, thank
You
you.
just speaking my language, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cocoa
He's an
butter.
actor. He's an artist.
He's a
He's a
painter.
He's a
writer.
poet,
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
it.
I've got to be
Renaissance man.
proud.
Renaissance man.
And the
that's
song,
right.
I'm like,
Look
what
at that
can't this man
smile.
do? You know, it
That
would be cool. Like when you start working when you're working these conventions, you can have some of your art out there to sell along with
Your autograph.
your autographs and
Mhm.
stuff.
yeah.
yeah, I could. Yeah, I've definitely thought about it. It's a funny thing with the resistance bands. Before I even signed to Star Trek, I already thought of the colors I want. So it's red, yellow, and black. I'm
Hmm.
Hmm.
one color off of just it just being a complete discovery color, like red, yellow, and then blue.
The blue.
Mm.
And it's the same kind of like tint as the yellow that I wear in the thing. So I was just like, whoa, the synchronicity is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's
But
all meant to
I
be.
don't know if I accidentally dodged a lawsuit or not. Just
I
want
was just gonna say, yeah, watch that stuff. They'll be on you in a
Long,
minute.
long as you don't got that Delta
Delta.
on there,
Right,
you're
as long as
fine.
the
That Delta.
delta's not on
Just
there.
don't put no Deltas on there. You're
Nah.
fine. You're fine. You're fine.
And if you do decide to change it, you know the Trekkies will flock to it.
They
oh, they
sure
will.
will.
I
They
know they
sure
will.
will.
I know
They'll be
Buy
four.
it
like,
I
up.
know four
you
that'll
need,
get
I'm
it.
sorry, you need money for what? Here's some money.
It's,
Take
it's
my
funny.
money. Take my money.
It's funny
Please.
because one of the vendors there, I went there and they were selling like little knickknacks and stuff, and I'm like, oh, these are so cool because they're all Star Trek themed, and I'm just like, wow, you know what I really wanted? I never thought I wanted. I'm just like, and I asked him, and I'm just like, I know you're not gonna have it, but you should get this. I said, do you have a Star Trek shaped gua sha? And he's like, huh? And I'm like, a gua sha. You know what a gua sha is? You guys know what a gua sha is? It's like a
Nope.
little.
No.
It's
Mm-mm.
okay. It's like an emerald. It's like a emerald jade or jade stone that you use on your face, your jawline, and your eyebrows to do a lymphatic drainage
Oh
in
yeah.
Oh, okay.
because the blood
Okay.
gets clogged in our face because we don't massage it a lot. So it's
Uh-huh.
a way to like get the blood flow, makes your skin
Oh.
nice and
With
plump and
those
whatever.
stones, those
Yeah,
rolling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My partner is very big. She's very big on like holistic
Hmm.
stuff, beauty and
Like
everything.
they're in jade, right? It's like
Exactly.
a
So
roller or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's the
Hmm.
roller and then there's the
Hmm.
gouache, which is more of
Hmm.
like a manual kind of thing.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm
Ah,
just like, yo, it almost shapes like the sign
almost
or
like a delta.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the delta sign. So I'm just like, if you just carve it just a little bit more like the tip, you can, you
You'd be
know,
You
good to
rolling.
go.
they
Thank
can't
Gouache.
you.
they can't come for you because I'm like, yo, that's how a gouache is basically shaped. Just make a little adjustment to make it a little bit
Yeah,
closer.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, they don't own every delta in the world
They do
either. Like
not.
the delta existed before this
They
franchise,
did.
you
They
know?
Exactly.
did. They did. They did.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Mhm.
But we would buy it. I would
Yes.
Yeah.
not know what it was, but I'd be like, look at this pretty delta stone.
It's so pretty.
And she'd be like trying to explain it to me, but now you rub it on your face, honey, and you do,
Yeah,
and I'm
okay,
like,
I
I don't
bought it.
care. It's a Delta Stone. Like, it's really going to
Exactly.
be
It serves
it's
a
going
Right.
to
good
be a
purpose.
paperweight, right? Like,
Yes.
Just gonna sit right here.
It
I'm
serves a
gonna
good
look at it
purpose.
and be very
I'm
happy.
like,
Where other Star Trek things of mine are sitting.
I know,
Right?
right?
Sitting right here.
Look,
Oh my
I
God.
have Star Trek tarot cards, so you know
Oh wow,
this
that's
is
cool.
everything.
That's cool.
Wow. I didn't even know there were Star Trek tarot cards.
I got them at the
There's Star
convention.
Trek Uno cards.
And why do I not have the Star Trek tarot cards? Why?
Because you
Because
know what?
Sabrina didn't get her sister a deck of
I
Star
was
Trek
trying to
tarot
tell you all
cards.
it was you weren't there that year.
Right. It
Um
was the first year we went.
Yeah,
together,
and the
and
guy
she
was
bought them.
selling them, and the original series has the number of episodes that's exactly what you need for the tarot deck. And so every episode is one of the cards. I was like, "Oh, give it to me." As you said, Fran, here's my
My
money.
money.
That's my
Take my
money.
money, please.
Take my
Take
money.
it, take it. That was the
My God.
craziest thing I ever saw that had Star Trek on it.
Oh my God. So, Orville, were you I know this is like a lame ass question, but I'm always interested to know. But were you a Trekkie in any way before you got this role? Like, or were you just like familiar with Trek and like or like, oh, that's cool. Like, what was your deal with it?
I think I was more familiar with it than a full-fledged fan.
Mm-hmm.
Always been a fan of sci-fi just as a whole,
Yeah.
and I've I grew up watching the Sci-Fi Network. So I watched a lot of like, Stargate, Atlantis, and
Mm-hmm.
all these other and Star Trek and all these other like sci-fi shows. As a kid, God bless my heart, I didn't understand what commercials meant. I thought it meant the episode was over and a new episode started. So
Mhm.
Stargate Atlantis finished, and then they go to commercials, and then Star Trek came on. I'm like, okay, good, we're continuing. This is the other storyline. So I thought all
That's so
sci-fi shows
cool.
was one show.
Oh wow.
Only
Wow.
when I got older, I started piecing it together. I'm like, where's this guy right now? What's going on here? Why is he
What
spotlighting this
happened?
guy? What's going on here? So it's always been in my life, but it's never been something that I said that I was like fully like invested in
Yeah.
until when I got the audition and I went back. I'm like, oh yeah, Star Trek came back. That's right, with Discovery, they resurrected the franchise. And I remember watching the first season, and I was like, whoa, this is different than when I was watching when I was a kid.
Mm.
Okay, I could get behind this. I
I can
like
get
this.
behind
Whoa,
that
whoa,
one.
whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that kind of like got me into it. It's like I watched every season. I think I watched all three seasons before I even set foot on the set for season four.
Wow.
Just like fully
Okay.
be immersed, and I'm like, yo, I'm down for this. I always wanted to be a show that I want to be on a show that I would love to watch. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I get
yeah,
that. That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I would
Hmm.
like to be on a show that I would love to watch.
yeah.
Hmm.
Which that
Same.
show was. I
Same.
mean, right. You were too.
I would too. Yes.
Well, I do love to listen to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
here.
love to listen to.
I do. Like I go back and I listen to the old like I
Uh,
listen to our episodes over. Like I listen to them as they come out and then like,
yeah.
like I listen to them on Spotify and it'll
So
be
do
like,
I.
okay, like you're
So do
done
I.
and it'll go
Oh,
back
good.
and it'll
We
loop
all
No,
we
no,
back
listen to
to
I
our
don't
some
own
listen to them
show.
on Spotify. I have no choice but to listen to
right.
them.
But then like if you're done with it, it'll go back and loop up to some
Oh, okay.
other older episode that you were like halfway
Ah.
through and it was
Yeah.
like you didn't finish this one. Haha, here it is. And then I'll just and then I'll just keep listening. I'm like, I like our show. And
Yeah.
I forget, I forget what I say half the time. So, this is
Yeah.
a nice refresher.
Good
Yeah.
argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh man, Orville, we love you.
Thank you.
Good
I'm
energy.
so,
Good energy.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad you took time to come on and be on here. But like we like Yvette said, we love the Bridge Crew, and we always really wanted to know a lot more about those characters. And you know, no shit, we know what was going on with the show, but every member of that cast made those characters in the few moments that we got with them so compelling that
Hmm.
our appetites are just wet for more, right? Like we just want more of you guys. We want to know what was going on with these characters. And like, I swear to God, like, I mean, Trekkies, we're obsessive anyway, but they just teased us. Like I just want to, I feel like I want to Bart Simpson, the staff, why did you do that to us? Because
Mhm.
all of you guys had these compelling backstories and we just
Mhm.
really wanted to know you more as a character. So I really hope, I'm praying that we get to see more
Yeah.
and know you more. But you guys did a great job. You
Yep.
particularly, you did a wonderful job and we love you.
Yeah, we do. Yes, yes, yes. We hope to see you more at cons because we want to work together as much as
Yeah,
possible.
100%.
So this is not the last time we'll see each other.
No, no, no.
So, hopefully
Anytime.
we'll have some more adventures together. So,
Yeah,
but
100% we will. Yeah,
yeah.
it's so funny because I talk about you guys like so much to my friends. I'm just like, I met these cool ladies. They call us sci-fi sisters, and trust me, I do the whole performance every single time.
If
Like
you
I always
haven't
have
if
like
you if you haven't followed this man on Instagram, you are missing out.
Oh, yeah.
please
You
follow
need,
me. You'll
yeah.
end up on a page and be like, okay, what's going on here with this
Oh
guy?
yeah.
Like he says he's an actor on Star Trek, but then he's talking to squirrels in the park, then he's doing twirling a stick, then he's doing martial arts. What's going on with this man?
He's living his best life. That's
I'm
what
just
he's
living my
doing.
best life, man.
That's
That's
right.
I'm just like, yo, just join me. I
That's
just hope
it.
someone sees it and they get inspired to live their best life too without
That's
like
it.
hearing of what other people might say about how you live your life. Because,
Mhm.
yeah, I know it's weird to be at the park and then see a squirrel and go, and then it comes up to you. I'm like, whoa, you understand me. This is kind of crazy. But like, I just believe in just like not tying yourself to just being about one thing. You can have your
Yes.
principles and things that you hold as your core, but like, explore yourself because every time we step into something new, there's an opportunity to learn something from that and bring it to the core of who we are. There's nothing I do outside of acting that I don't bring back into my craft. So
Mm.
there's never any wasted energy. It's just like wasted like lessons that you didn't want to learn or you didn't try to like gain from this. So just go out there, explore yourself, and just be happy, man. There's just
That's
too many
right.
things in life that's gonna just bring us down, make us feel bummed out because I feel it too. People see me
Mhm.
as a very positive guy, and I try to bring that light all the time. But I have my off days. I have my days
Sure.
like grumpy. I feel sad. I feel off. My energy, my vibe. I feel anxious about something. I feel kind of like depressed about something. But I know that that only can last so long if I unless I made the conscious choice to try to do something to step out of it because there's so much
Mhm.
beauty in life, but we're too shrouded by everything to even like take it in. Like it's crazy. If you sit at the park and just breathe in and out 8 times for 8 second in, 8 second out for just five, not even 8 seconds, for like I do that for like 5 minutes straight. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to do it like a proper meditation or whatever. It completely reverts your nervous system back to like just being neutral. And from there, you can start adding more. You can start adding that stress again, or you can look to your left, see everyone living their life. You can see the beauty, you can feel the wind, you can feel the energy, and then you could just have a moment to yourself because those moments outweigh like the bad years and everything just by being in that space and being present for that 1 5 minute increment. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
helped me so much because that's how I got through the pandemic. That's how I got through anything that was going in my life. I honestly felt like if I didn't step into that energy, I wouldn't be on Star Trek because I wouldn't be as open to receive that because God doesn't give you something you can't handle. And He knew that I was building my strength and I could handle this. And it came and I handled it. So, and that's why I'm here with you all today. So I'm truly grateful for that.
Ugh.
Mm. You better
Well,
preach, baby brother.
Right?
You better preach,
That's
baby brother.
it.
You know,
Woo.
you
Yes,
didn't
we
say
needed that
nothing but a
word.
word. Yeah, we did. I love it. I mean, and that's what you call being free, and I think there's something that one of the most powerful things on the face of this earth is black joy,
Hmm.
Yeah.
pure,
Hmm.
unbridled black joy.
That's it.
Yes.
That is it.
That's
Yeah.
called freedom, boys and
Hmm.
girls.
So true.
We love it. So, Yvette, can you let people know where they can give their thoughts on their pure black joy or anything else that they heard about that they want to talk about?
You got it. You can find us at sci-fi sistas.com. That's SYFYSISTAS.com. Join us on the mothership. That's MUTHASHIP. And the Sci-Fi Sisters Book Club, both on Facebook. On Instagram, TikToks, and Threads, sci-fi.sisters. And we're also on that platform formerly known as Twitter at Sci-Fi Sisters. For more interviews, the live show, and our infamous Top 10 series, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sci-Fi Sisters Inc. Woo! This is getting harder and harder. Become a Patreon of Sci-Fi Sisters today at patreon.com/Sci-Fi Sisters. The Trek Geeks Network's presenting sponsor is Fansets. Go to fansets.com for pins and memorabilia from all your favorite franchises. Visit fansets.com and use Trek Geeks, all caps, for your exclusive 10% discount. After listening to this podcast, please rate us and write a review. We may just read it on an upcoming episode.
And we want to thank our associate producers for this episode, which is Sailor Marj, Stephanie Baker, and Karen Dramera. We love y'all. We thank you so much. And we got to thank the baddest engineer in any and all known universes. That's Dose, the anonymous one. Dose. He's responsible for all the music you hear on this show and for the audio production services. And if you need his skills, look him up on Instagram. He's dose_the_anonymous_1. That's the number 1. And that's it for us, y'all. We love you very much. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and hair grease, people.